Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. My name is Nicole. I am a senior broadcast journalism major, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the journalist's role in business marketing. I, like many other journalism majors, have sometimes questioned what's going to lie ahead of me after I graduate. I've seen a lot of my friends in the department kind of question themselves because they love writing, they love being creative, but they don't exactly want to be a reporter and they don't want to go in and write for a news station or a magazine. What do journalism students do when they're stuck like this? Well, a lot of things that we learn in journalism classes are best put to use on a company's marketing team. And I know that sounds a little far-fetched, and you're asking, how is a journalism student supposed to hold their own on a professional marketing team? Well, that requires us to kind of break down the definitions of business marketing and journalism. So Business Dictionary Online says that business marketing is the act of bringing a product or service from concept to customer. And Business Dictionary says that journalism is the act of preparing information to be broadcast or publicized to an audience. Already we can start to see overlaps in these definitions. With both terms, you're taking point A and using some kind of transition to get to point B. With marketing, you're taking an idea and developing it into a product that you're going to market on shelves. With journalism, you're taking unorganized information and turning it into a comprehensible story. And the overlap exists not just in the written definition, it exists in the way that we bring up these terms in journalism classes. There are three terms that really hit home with both marketing professionals and journalism students. Those terms are story, community, and call to action. Now, this room is all journalism students, so you can all pretty much attest to the importance of these words, and if you haven't quite connected with these words, then be prepared to hear a lot about them until you graduate. And so let's take a look at a further definition of journalism classes. So K through 12 is an online resource for parents and students of high schoolers to get a little bit of an insight into what a college class is going to be like before deciding on a major, deciding on a minor. Pretty much you search any college class in here and it can tell you what you're going to be learning. So if you're searching business, it'll tell you exactly what you're going to learn if you commit to a business degree, how you can use it after you graduate. And so if you search journalism, you find this definition. Students learn to find story ideas, identify and evaluate sources of information, and use approved conventions to cite sources. They learn interviewing techniques and community connectivity tools and practice appropriate speaking and listening skills. These methods equip students to communicate effectively and incite change. Now already we can start to see the story, community, call to action come to fruition in this definition. We see that students learn to find story ideas. So looking around and deciding what events they want to cover or finding the beginning, middle, and end in any event or topic. I know that as a journalism student, I've been asked so many times, where's the story? What does this matter to me? So what? And as a journalism student, you learn to answer those questions. We see that journalism students learn community connectivity tools. And so we learn how to go out and connect with people that are different than us. We learn how to talk to people who have come from different cultures, or maybe there's an age gap. We learn how to connect with all members of the community and successfully tell their story because we understand them. And we see call to action as journalists learn to incite change. So inciting change can look anywhere from turning someone's perspective from point A to point B after a persuasive piece. It can even mean that you're really convincing someone to attend an event. So we learn how to incite change and call our readers to action. Let's take a look at how these skills come up in some marketing ads and campaigns now. This campaign is the Helpful Honda campaign, and a little bit about this campaign. It's pretty much to communicate the ways that Honda is going out of their way to celebrate and protect our families. So with this specific ad, we see Honda out on the streets with our dads for Father's Day, taking good care of those who protect our families the best. And if Honda's taking good care of our families on the streets, then we can pretty much guarantee that they are going to protect us when we buy one of their cars. So let's take a look at this ad.
Celebrate all how to give back to the community. After all, it is our job to help.
California. I have 3 children. I have 2 girls and a boy. I didn't believe it until my wife started following you guys and we started trying to get them free gas and what have you, and just listening to the commercials. It's been great, man. So yeah, I definitely feel that everybody knows. I cannot say enough about you guys, what you guys do for the community, for families, helping out there, for our veterans as well. So again, thank you, SoCal Honda. I appreciate it. This was awesome.
All right. Now let's break down this ad. What did we see go on here? Well, first we saw the story behind this pop-up Father's Day shaving spot. We saw a beginning, a middle, and an end. So with the beginning, we saw them setting up their tablecloths and putting the soaps out. We saw a middle where all the dads were coming by and getting their free shaves and haircuts. And then at the end, we saw the dads walking away with their happy families, so thankful that they were able to take part in this fun Father's Day celebration. Let's take a look at the community represented here. So we have our physical, literal community, which was Southern California. We saw that represented in our audience, which were fathers and families. And we also saw a diverse amount of fathers and families show up to the event. We saw older dads and younger dads and dads with young children, dads with old children, dads from different ethnicities and cultures, and the marketing team was able to connect with these dads and make them feel celebrated on this day because they know how to talk to them and they know how to share their story. Let's take a look at the call to action here. The final dad to be interviewed on this ad his name was Ray, and he said, "I couldn't wait to get in on the action." He was really excited to find the helpful Honda dealers on the street and kind of get his piece in on the Honda celebration. He mentioned that him and his wife had been following the campaign and seeing how they could jump in on it. And that kind of makes us as the audience engaged too. We want to stay tuned to what's going to happen next. We want to see if there's going to be another pop-up themed Honda dealership down the street from us. And so that was the call to action there. Let's break down another example. A little bit about this campaign. It's called the Strength in Numbers campaign. It stemmed from the 2014-2015 season for the NBA team. And it was a big one for them. The team left the regular season with a record-breaking number of 73 wins. They were able to go into the postseason kind of building on this momentum. The goal of this campaign was to create a culture of champions and to really make their fans excited to stay up to date with what was going to be next. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so the story behind this campaign was that of champions, and they wanted to create a narrative of winning, and they wanted to create excitement in their fan base. The story was set up just like this. All the posters in the campaign were designed with yellow tally marks with a black and white image to really emphasize the numbers and make it stand out, make it look like they had a lot of power under their belt. The community here, in this campaign, they represented community as they took to the streets and wanted to include their fan base and tell their fans' stories. We see diversity represented in just these few posters, from young to old and different cultures, all being able to tell their own story because the marketing team just really knew how to connect with them. They knew how to use their communication skills to tell these stories without using bias or judgment. The call to action in this campaign came from the way that the Warriors were setting up their postseason games. So every home game during the postseason looked like this, with t-shirts draped over the back of the stadium chairs. They invited fans to wear the shirts and wave them around in the air, feeling as if they had ownership in the team. Now, the fans that left with these t-shirts felt ownership in the team, felt like they wanted to come back and maybe spend more money on another game ticket or keep up with the Warriors on TV. Now, with all this information, what do we do and how do we get unstuck? Well, something encouraging that helped me get over my stuckness was knowing that my skills are extremely transferable and that recruiters are looking for me as a talented writer. Being able to write an email or a newsletter and communicate with your coworkers or to a vast audience really goes a long way in business marketing. So I hope this information was a little bit helpful for you, a little enlightening as we move towards graduation. At this moment, I'd love to take any questions. Thank you so much for coming.